Hello there, my name is Richard Scott, this is Lucy Carruthers, this is Robert Carr, and this is the last episode of Season 2 of The Film Look. We're going to be discussing Corpse. We're going to do a bit of a director's commentary here on Wrap Party for Season 2. So let's get started. I think that was loud enough.
No.
Yeah. So
This is Corpse.
yeah, this is it. How long have you been working on this for?
I began this project in 2012 when I was at university, and we made a scene, a horror scene, and we decided, right, well, let's make a 28 Days Later scene. And from there I just started writing more and more and more and more, and then it was like a 30-page script. Yeah. Then I went to London to do a film course.
Can I just quickly say, how many versions did you have of this in the end?
43. No, but the versions were like, if I changed a comma to a full stop, I would just create a new version.
Oh, right, okay.
So there
they
weren't completely different drafts.
Yeah.
First.
So you went
So this was like the I call it the pre-Lucy version, because it was after I met Lucy in 2014 that she was like, oh yeah, okay, so let's make a film. Jake was there as well.
Yeah.
We were all like, after we've finished this film thing, in London, we'll meet back up in Newcastle because we're all from the northeast, and we'll make some. And I was like, okay, I've got a script, this thing called Corpse that I've been on and off working on for a while. They read it when they're eating burgers. Jake's on board straight away. He's like, yeah, let's do this. This is really cool. Lucy's like, well, yeah, I kind of like it, but I'm going to rip it apart now.
No, that's not what happened.
What happened?
I had a good concept. I just needed developing a bit more.
Yeah.
I needed the actors' way about it. I
Yeah.
needed to develop the storyline and the past and present of all the characters. You did a bit of hot seating. Try and get all the,
I hadn't worked with actors before. You are an actor.
Yeah.
So you were like, let's rewrite this as if you were an actor, because the information that was in the script was rubbish. Yeah, so then after that we were like, okay, let's do it. And we worked on a couple of projects.
Yeah, we worked on my film. We worked on, actually I think we shot the first scene of this before we shot my film, but then we shot the rest of this, and then we worked on other things. Yeah, and it was just as soon as I read the script, but it was more, I think, I'm going to pause it there because my name's on. I think the script was, you explained the backstory of certain elements as well, so that got me on board instead of just kind of like, this is just the idea. There's a backstory to characters, and you know the ending of the season, because this is a short film, but it's an episode in a season. Series, so
it has its own universe, and the universe is massive, and there's a lot of it that I can't show just because we're not capable of doing it. It's all like inner city stuff with gangs all raging, fighting each other, gun wars happening all the time, drug dealing happening all the time, and instead of heroin and smack, it's these meds. Yeah, we'll talk about the meds actually. So the meds are just these little smints. So they're literally just little breath mints, but they're small and they're triangular and they look quite cool. And I've just took it out of like an echinacea bottle from my mum's cupboard, out of a herbal remedies cupboard, and scratched it up, and I was like, oh, that's the meds. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about this scene?
This scene in particular. What have we got in the notes?
Total scene, overexposed.
Alright.
So I just thought,
do you want to talk about it being overexposed?
Start with Lucy being in.
So that's Lucy. She plays two characters.
And I
in
died
Corpse.
both times.
She's dead as one, and then she dies as the other. Yeah. Really, it's just we could have used like anyone. Lucy just happened to be there.
Great.
With these shots as well, there was your original plan. You had a lot of, obviously, the storyboards, but you had each individual shot. So you had a shot just there of the pill bottle in his hand, and you had his reaction, and it was kind of like
What?
really realised, because I think this was the second shoot day.
Yeah.
It was kind of just blend those shots into one and move with his movement of going down, picking them up, and then coming back up.
Overdose.
So was that, if you go back to the, when he's got the, that'll be this, no, if you go back?
Yeah.
It'll be a close-up of the pills and then a shot of his face. But then we were like, we'll just tilt up.
I think it's actually
Make it one
starts
shot.
with him going down as well. So it was that. There's 2 shots.
Yeah.
And it was like, so there's 1, 2, 3, and then 4.
And we talk about this in the condensing your shot list.
Yeah, which we'll link in this corner, that corner, whichever corner it is.
Yeah. Put it in one of the corners.
Yeah. But another thing with this scene, because obviously it was such a bright day, and obviously it's just the tunnel's it's a fair size on you to walk through it, but it was just because we didn't have any powered lights or bright enough lights, so we could light them a little bit more, so we bring the background of the exposure down.
Yeah. And that's why we've got it completely
to get the right exposure on them. It's peaking. There's no way we could have got around that unless we had a generator and some meter.
And we shot it cine style, so it was flat, and that's why the overexposed bits looks worse than what it would if we just shot it in a standard picture profile.
Which would have been harder as well because they would have been darker. But that's the only thing about this scene.
Yeah, we originally we were going to shoot this scene in like a month prior. We did get there and we were ready to shoot, but it was really windy and the tunnel was like
freezing as well.
Yeah, it was horrible. And I didn't have a blimp for the mic, so the wind was just horrible. We just decided not to shoot it, and I decided to purchase a blimp. So it's probably the best thing I've bought in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Just definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, it was insane. Tried it and I just started using canned air. I was like, oh, let's see what this is like, and it worked like. It's perfect. I've never taken it out the blimp since.
So this is the next scene when they're a little bit further on in the story.
This is where we started
journey
during the bombings.
Yeah.
Just another thing with this, I think it just needs to be brought up just a stop of light on the faces.
We used an LED panel for this.
Yeah.
You'd recently bought that.
And we did a little bit of bounce light off it as well because it was all pretty much natural light, but it just needed another stop. And I think that's we didn't want to put the ISO on the camera because this was shot on a 550 or 550, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You can't put the ISO too high on that.
Anything above 800 is
just not
looks horrible.
Yeah.
And this is our
I just think
so
it just
far.
needs to be brought up a little bit as well.
It is a bit dark, yeah.
The West Coast.
The certain shots are
We're down
fine,
to
but
Oasis.
it's when he's inside.
Coast to coast.
We just need an edge light as well, just on his
100 miles.
just on the
On
back.
slow progress
just a
so
little.
far. I reckon we could do
Just
this
the
in
side.
2 weeks.
I think there was a
I quite like
reflector
it's
as well,
dark
so-
though.
Yeah, I think there's a reflector.
It's
in
cool.
there as
Like
well.
that shot there.
Yeah.
Nice
Looks
shot.
perfect.
I mean, when they come out, that's too dark. But when they come out and they're standing there, it's completely fine.
Oh, keep it paused there.
Yeah.
Lucy, you want to talk about the makeup here, don't you?
Oh, it just looks probably the best time we've ever done the makeup. The dirt and ground look, especially around the eyes. Sort of the bird foot effect that Ben has on his face. It's really nicely mirrored there.
Yeah, the squint, the squint dirt.
It works really well that day.
Yeah.
Especially on his fingernails as well, which we like use the black paint and really ground in, make them look like they've been travelling a lot, and probably washing their hands. It's not the first thing they're gonna go for, so
Yeah.
it was nice to add that detail in on those days as well.
We talk about that in the ground and dirt look tutorial.
There'll be a video here.
Probably above Rob's head or something.
Yeah, it'll be about there.
Oh wait, no, it won't be because you're going to be in the corner. It'll be up there.
Yeah, it'll be somewhere.
Ah.
I found a
Favourite
tarp
shot.
as well. That was.
Small. Should be pretty
You
easy
what?
to keep a low
Like,
profile.
I really like that shot.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
It's really simple,
They won't
but
come
it's
that
just
far.
looks really cool. Found a tarp in the shed. It was already horribly worn in and broken. We're like, right, we'll use that, and got there and just sort of strung it up with a bit of rope.
Yeah, look.
We don't have too much of a wide shot, not because it looks really terrible, but I'm glad we didn't get a wide shot now. Cause
Later on, we'll have a little bit of a wide, but that's when it's a little bit destroyed. Spoilers. But, yeah.
keep that going. Oh, no, go back a second and we'll just listen.
Yeah.
So, In terms of like sound design and cinematography, we were like, let's keep it simple, stupid. And we used like Lost as a basis for it. It's like lots of close-ups, really simple, not like too much of anything, no insane amount of moving, just move with the actors and see how it is.
I mean,
And
all
this particular sound effect, if you play that.
Well, all of this scene was pretty much, I think, tripod. A lot of it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was just static shots.
So yeah, this sound effect that happens in a few seconds it's like a flashback indicator, and they use it a lot in Lost. Not the exact sound, but one that's very, very similar.
They won't come that far out of the city.
And I thought it worked. Some people didn't realise there were flashbacks, but like that, yeah.
Well, I'd suppose that like that shot I love. I think it's obviously because of the sound as well, but then you cut to that and it just cuts perfectly.
Yeah. I do like the
it just
cave.
shows the intent.
Yeah.
So this entire scene was not going to be in Corpse.
It wasn't in the original script.
Yeah, we wrote a monologue for
No.
casting Mike because he was only going to be like an infected throughout the whole thing. We were never going to see him as Mike the character, but Dan came in. I think he was the first one we auditioned,
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah, that's Mike.
It's Mike.
Yeah.
So we loved it so much that we're like, we can put this in as a flashback.
Yeah.
We can get it in, and other than the windmill scene, which we'll see later on, it's just a scene as a whole, as a complete little package.
Yeah.
It's just got everything. I think it's great. I love it. I even love the costume design and the makeup as well.
I mean, yeah, I think, well, throughout, I think the costume design, it's what our slogan is, you know, it's we're trying to achieve the film look, and the film look is all about every aspect,
Yeah.
but I think does the costumes work well.
Keep that pose there as well.
The makeup as well on this.
And the hair.
Yeah.
Because at this stage, this is when they've only been travelling for a few days, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Mike is supposed to be very, very ill.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
what did you do
using the purple and the blue, I think, just really dabbed it under his eyes. But I don't know whether it was the colour grading that you put on this scene or whether he just looked very naturally tired that day. Like it looks very natural compared to the ground and dirt look later on. I think
Yeah.
that looks like it's nothing on him at all.
You didn't use the ground and
No,
dirt there.
this
You
is
just
like
used
simply
the
just
tiredness,
Yeah.
and then load of conditioner in his hair
Yeah.
to make it
Loads of
sort of
conditioner in his
greasy.
hair.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, there you go. So that sound there, I had to re-record because it was windy and horrible. I just, the way it sort of drags off the rock, I just used my patio in the back garden. And it worked right. All the shaking sounds from the pill bottle was all re-recorded, all Foley art, which I'm quite proud of. Like this. Wait, no.
Waiting for help to
Yeah, it's when he picks up the bottle. So it's the chink, 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 like it goes back and forth, and I had to like do it while watching it.
I think that was when I first watched it. It's one of
these fucking pills.
Yeah, because it was in, but it was really quiet, and then he had added in
It's
again.
one thing I noticed straight away, and you did it, and I was like,
Yeah.
It feels natural anyway.
Well, it's I mean, films have everything's re-recorded, so if you re-record it, it'll feel more like a film.
Well, 70% of the audio is normally done as well, so.
Yeah.
Chance that we've got of ending up dead.
Got to stick together, Mike.
I like doing the costumes because it's like it was easy to do because you're just making them look horrible.
Yeah.
Like if we had to do design costumes that would, you know, to a certain decade or something, I would not be able to do that. But to make them look wrecked, it's
Yeah.
easy enough.
Video, be a video here. I really like that part as well because when I was reading the script, I didn't realise that's what you were going to do with it, where it's like quiet and then it's the way it turned out. When I first watched it, I was like, oh, that's class.
Yeah, I didn't realise either until I edited.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is all the audio from this is from close-ups, but I liked having just sort of one wide behind them.
Yeah.
So all the audio, if you turn it right up and listen, you can hear that it's all stitched together. But these guys are so good at pretty much doing the exact same thing again that they were just like, they didn't have to do any ADR. I just took it from other takes and it was fine.
This is actually, I know it's so simple this bit, but you had this was like a 2-shot and then a couple of singles, and it was just like they
We
just-
can get this in one.
they just did it.
What is it?
It's a marker. We're trespassing.
You think it's theirs?
I don't want to stay here to find out.
So this is the only fancy shot in the whole film.
Yep.
Uh,
I think it's my favourite shot though.
I like it. I do like it.
Obviously, this is the camp from before, but when you were explaining this shot was, I was like, you had a table and stuff, and you were saying, well, it's best if I have it on a table, and you were explaining, I was like, what are you talking about? And then we did it, and I was like, oh, okay, because it is the only fancy shot. But what it is I'll go back a little,
Yeah.
too far. So I've got the camera at this point, and it
Yeah.
goes under my legs,
Yeah, so it goes under here,
and then
and you stick it out, and then someone grabs them
Jay there,
from behind the legs, like grabs them
Yeah.
like this way, and then turns it around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So that's the only time we kind of use a fancy shot. Like, we don't use any sliders. We did in the map's got a slider on. I think we
yeah,
did in the
and the train tracks
Yeah.
as well.
Um,
That is a disused train track, by the way. I did not use live rails.
in this shot, it's only
Yeah.
over time we
So-
use light because it's extremely dark there. But I think if we pause it here, you can just tell that there is light on them.
You can just tell. I don't think much. Well, I suppose yeah.
I think I got the colour of the light wrong at that point, but yeah,
Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So next is the Geno scene.
So this whole thing about having them with red bands on, I mean, it just comes from, the Nazis, and it's bright red. So compared to all the greens and the browns that you see, which most of it is, it's really vibrant.
You think this will solve his problems?
It was actually based off a ninja costume that my brother bought us,
Mhm.
and then my mum stitched some red bands. And it was the night before. I just went in the back garden and stood on them in the mud and started ripping them apart.
This scene as well. This is the most cast we ever had. There was like 4 crew or something, wasn't it?
The last scene we shot of everything was
this
in
was
July.
this was the last scene, and you didn't actually have this, I don't think, in the storyboards where they were looking or their reactions.
No, they were supposed to be under the tarp,
But
And
and
just
then
didn't work.
I
Yeah.
talked about it, and then you were like, but they would see them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
And
I was
also it would be so comedic.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
under the top at one point. I was like, I kind of do this.
yeah.
Like, it just looks crap. So we did this, and I think it works.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh,
So
no.
this character, which I'll go back.
We can actually, this is part of condensing shots as well.
Yeah.
It was 4 separate shots, and then we realised, well, we can just square it. We can go from here to this shot, and then up.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd shot, and then back to Geno,
Yeah.
which is the 4th, and we just draw a
Yeah,
square.
instead of cutting each time, you could have added. There was 4 cuts. You could have added 2, but we just did them in one take, and it was so easy to do. And I think it helps with the pacing as well because he's not worried about anything.
It's just more
Geno,
cinematic as
yeah.
well.
Um,
But when you're drawing storyboards, you're drawing so much. But we always do that. We always try and condense the shot list.
do you want to talk about Geno?
Geno is probably my favourite character in the whole thing.
Well, I met Will because he actually come along to some of the shoot days when he
Yeah.
wasn't even acting, so he was just helping out as like production assistant and stuff.
And you didn't realise he was Geno.
No, I was chatting to him. He was like, "Oh, I'm playing Geno." I was like, "Okay," and I didn't click because Will, he's such like a soft-spoken
Yeah.
guy, and he's such a nice person.
Yeah.
And I know the character of Geno and what he is. I was like, "Hang on a minute, can you play this?" And then, as soon as he stepped into character, but I think it was even when we were doing the test shooting in your living room.
Yeah.
He was in character then as well. And then I realised straight away, and it was in his eyes, that, yeah, he can play him.
He auditioned for Mike, I do believe.
Mm-hmm.
And me, Lucy and Jake talked about it, and we were like, he's great for this Geno character. That wasn't in the script. He was supposed to be in episode 2.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. And we're like, right, we've just got to put him in, because this is like so much production value. We can just add, he's there.
And if you look at the picture of the cast and crew of this final day, which we'll have online somewhere,
He's still
Still
in
in
character.
Yeah, he's the only one like where you're smiling
Yeah.
from everyone else's, and he's still
And
in
he's
character.
there, ready to kill you.
Yeah, and I just think he just played it really well.
Yeah, yeah. Like originally, I hadn't intended on being like this. You know, sometimes you see like the bosses of it, they're small in stature, but they're absolutely insane.
Yeah.
It was always
that.
supposed to be like that. He was never supposed to be a brute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's just
that shot.
he's
that
just
I
like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
Just like
I see him.
I loves being
I
crazy.
see him as like a Riddler. I think he could play the Riddler really
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Those eyes, man.
Yeah.
Those eyes. This was the last scene we shot. It's 3 minutes long, roughly, and it took us 3 hours to shoot. Which, in contrast to the first one, which is 20 seconds, and it took us 3 hours again.
Yeah. The tunnel took like 4 or 5.
Yeah, we
Very cool.
we were in our stride that day, and it was a good
Well,
weather as well. It actually rained really badly for about an hour.
I think what helped with this is the only day we actually did do testing in your living room.
Yes, shooting storyboarding with photographs episode
video.
somewhere up there.
Yeah.
We actually call it Genoing because it's based on the character's name.
Well, that's kind of the scene as well. The scene's all about Gino, the character. So now when we do storyboarding with photographs, but we did it in your living room, which I really think helped because for me shooting, I knew where everyone was going to be. I could see the space even though they were still in your living room. I knew where the characters were going to be moving.
Yeah.
And then it was just okay, right? I just need to be here with the camera, and you would basically tell us everything you wanted to prior to the shoot, and I was already had that in my mind.
Yeah.
So then it was just like figuring it out for the space.
2 seconds. Just looking short, you know. Yeah, I mean it was just test shoots.
Yeah.
From a design perspective as well, it was nice to do the makeup and the hair before we actually got on set because it gave us an idea of the time frame that it would take as well, especially because Natasha had to do all the special effects with, like, for example, all the cuts and the grazing. It took a lot longer than we anticipated to do all the different cast members as well. We could easily split up the time between who was doing who, which was nice before because a lot of the shoots we just did it on the day.
Yeah. So in summary, plan. You know, if the guys were always free and I could, you know, we could pay them and it was like they would come in every day, the whole film would have been done in, 20 days?
Yeah.
We would have had like a day for each rehearsal and we could have had a space and everything, but it was, you know, it's a spare time movie, like we're only doing it when we can, and that's why it took a year to do.
Yeah. I think with this scene as well, obviously doing a test shoot is because obviously with the other scenes, Jake and Ben, they're in everything, and as soon as we got working with them, it was like we know our workflow with them, we know what they need, they know what we need, and eventually it was just easy.
We developed a really tight shorthand.
And obviously now there was four extra actors in this. Obviously Will had been there a few extra days and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just nice to obviously it was new people on set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, can be a good thing, can be a good thing, bad thing sometimes, but it really worked. So.
Yeah. How much conditioner is in Will's hair?
Probably about half a bottle, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's just when he's running it through his fingers, and you can see it's horribly greasy and.
But that was the one thing that we kept having to top up as well. It was after every take we'd put more conditioner in, so by the end it's literally soaked.
Ooh, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Mark literally just was like, "Oh yeah, I'll just fall on my face in the mud," and I was like, "Well, okay then."
If you watch the getting your gunshots design, there's just a clip of him just lying there in the mud, and it's like I'm rolling, but we don't actually need it, and he's still. Actually, when he fell, he blinked, and we did this twice, and he said it was I blinked. Can you check it? I was like, okay, I'll check it, and he did. But you were like, I can actually just do that on visual effects. So he actually blinks about now, and you've just replaced his eye.
Yeah, I took a frame from where he wasn't blinking and just pasted it over.
He's extremely still, which is the only way that would work if it was lots of movement in it.
Yeah.
Obviously, he has just been shot, so it's not going to be moving too much.
Right, play that. When I was saying about how he used to say, "Oh yeah, I'll just dive on my face," everyone was like that in the film. The guys were just like, "Yeah, let's just kick the kick the poo out of each other and just we'll roll around in the mud and we'll get messy.
Everyone was extremely committed to the role, and there was, can you do this? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
This, you'll see this sound effects for this in
Bone breaking sound design.
their video link.
Yeah. Check that out. Bell peppers.
Yeah.
No,
It's not perfect. Listen to it now. It's not perfect.
Still
Doesn't
don't
matter.
like it, mate. I don't.
it's still horrifying.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I love the way he walks away.
Yeah, he does like a little moonwalk.
There we go. Lost inspired.
Yeah.
So this scene was shot at golden hour.
Yeah.
We got there, we did a test shoot, and it was like, man, this looks great. And then we went and we shot it, and the clouds came in, and we couldn't shoot anymore because the continuity was vastly contrasted. Yeah. So we bit the bullet and we're like, well, we'll just do it on a cloudy day. Originally, I was like, oh man, we're gonna lose that lush light. But looking at the scene now, it works better. It's very grey.
It does work. I think it does work much better. And the guys delivering the lines, I mean, I think we did one.
We did one take. Well, we did 3 altogether.
Yeah, and they just nailed it every time.
Yeah. We rehearsed it in the drive there. We had 2 cars, and I was like, well, I'll get these guys in my car and we'll talk about the... We didn't discuss the script an awful lot, which is one thing in hindsight I really should have done. But it just so happens that the guys are talented as hell.
Yeah, there was like a couple of takes and then getting a couple of inserts. My favourite shot's the wide. I just like the symmetrical going through the windmill.
Yeah. I like that shot of Ben. Yeah. Like, it's not too wide.
Well,
they're both in. There's no like sexy doff or anything, but
well, because I was like, oh, do you not want a single of him as well? Because you've got 2 singles. It was like, well, there it is, there punched
it's
in.
only used once. Yeah. Oh, twice even.
I don't want us to end up like
Had the blimp this time as well, so you couldn't hear the wind. So that's been put back in.
I think we had there was a bit wind, so we got a couple of reflectors to try and bounce the wind away.
No, that was the sunny shoot, which
okay.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did use reflectors, and it stopped the wind.
Well, all this is just natural light as well, even though there's no sun. We're
Yeah.
just using reflectors to just get a little bit of bounce just under the chin,
Yeah,
and it works.
yeah.
So what happens to the rest of us?
I one take wonder. This is my favourite scene in the whole film,
Yeah,
just because
me too.
it's them 2 talking about each other. No, talking to each other.
Yeah.
I've spoke to a couple of people asking for feedback, and a few guys have said like this is their favourite scene as well, just because it explains about the backstory of the corpse universe, and it makes them a bit more intrigued about what should be happening next. And
I think it's
episode 2.
So this scene was my favourite shoot scene of the entire film. Obviously, this is when they're looking clean.
Very clean.
Just going to pause it there. Do you want to talk about this one? Yeah.
When Dan was like, "Oh, so you see this giant sort of pillared wall? I'll just jump off it into the sand."
Because he's like at this point he's really ill, so he's not acting like he would, and he just did it.
Yeah.
Just jumped off.
I'm surprised he didn't get winded.
And I was like, he did it.
And this is another one who's like, "Oh, I'll just crawl into the water." Okay.
And when he did it, I was just like, am I running towards the? Because he did. I don't think he actually gave us enough time to for me to prepare to get there.
They actually go back to that shot of Jason. You can hold it and it'll go back.
Let's play from there.
Okay. We didn't prepare anything. We did a little bit of choreography in Dan's house, but the tide was coming in, and we didn't have an awful lot. So if you pause it on the Jason clip, no, the next one when he's running in.
Yeah, and just to say with the tide as well, it was like, obviously we shot this about 4 times. It was the tide was coming in, so it's the continuity of it. Which I think in one of the first edits it had a little bit of problem, but I think you changed one of the shots and it worked well.
Yeah. There's a pause it there. They're in the right is the reflector, the gold reflector, my camera bag, and the boom pole.
Yeah.
So.
But when you're watching it, it just looks like it's.
I cut some frames out of there to give that punchy effect. We won't go into that. I mean, you type in YouTube, there's loads of stuff.
Yeah, there's loads of stuff.
You know, with more choreography and stuff, we probably would have had more shots.
Well,
we could have tailored it a bit more, but we were running out of time.
Yeah.
I was ready to kick everyone's head in.
You're stressed.
I do apologise.
Stressed, like, well, because I was shooting this on the camera, but because it was sunny day, so I had one eye on the eyepiece. And obviously, you have to have the other eye closed. And Jay, who he gets cut out of here because he's standing there at one point.
Yeah.
He's actually got hold of me. Because I don't know where I'm going and I don't know where these guys are going, so he's physically just moving us in the
like a chess piece.
Yeah, towards them, and I'm just trying to obviously get the frame.
Yeah, and I'm running behind you, getting the sound.
Yeah, I mean, so there's like 4 of us this day.
5 of us.
5 of us crew day. Because
Yeah.
Will was there, wasn't he? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And it was just like, but the thing is, what makes this is them 3 guys like. It looks as good as it does is because they
actually are.
He is pretty much.
They are choking. Well, he said he had neck problems after that. He said he had a sore neck.
The only thing they didn't do was actually punch each other.
Yeah.
But I think if you said punch each other, the pugs would have.
Yeah, when Ben, who plays station, picks up the rock to swing, he does drop it. When he's swinging, he doesn't have anything in his hand.
Yeah.
We were gonna make a fake rock on something, but it was just like, well, we'll just. It's going so quick, we don't need to show it. It's not a massive rock.
The way we filmed this as well, we did the beginning fight bit where I just followed whoever, and then I followed each individual character.
Yeah.
So we could just get the angles, which I think
instead
really
of following a storyboard and getting certain shot types and coverage, it was right. We'll go for it. We'll do a tech rehearsal, but we'll shoot the rehearsal, get it done, and then it was right. Now shoot Mike.
Yeah.
Now shoot Sam. Now shoot Jason.
Repeat it because the choreography was they knew it just about, and then just get in each individual person so you're covering yourself basically. I love Dan when he's just crawling and his hands are going into the sand.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
So much honey.
Yeah. And talk about blood.
Yeah. So the blood was a mix of honey. So a little bit of glycerin, red and green food dye, a bunch of other stuff. It was really simple.
Really small honey. It was the honey
bottle,
wasn't it?
It was like a squirtable honey bottle, and
So I had that, and then it was literally
2 seconds before take, open your gob and squirt it in, and get the blood to spit about. We made another version with like tea bags and stuff to make like a congealed version.
Yeah. It was
tutorial.
Horrible.
In the corner. Ooh, so you see that it just went to that scene there. That's Lucy, by the way. Hello. We originally had, so Alex is the girl who's on the floor there. We originally were going to have the 2 guys here filling up water bottles by the stream, because there's a stream close to here, and then Alex is really slowly approaching, and then she passes out and hits the floor. And we did get it. We shot it. I edited it, and then it was like, we'll just take it out. Like as soon as we'll see these, and then she's there, and it's done.
I like the dialogue in it, so and you could definitely use that again, because it was about them 2 kind of being brothers and just having a conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was you're right to take it out. So.
It was that scene that we helped build the bond between Sam and Jason in the auditions. That was what we used.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like.
So this is the one. As far as I'm aware, this is the only time we've ever crossed the 180 rule. But I don't think it matters that much. No. Not from where we see it. Doesn't. I don't think it confuses anyone.
I don't notice it
because Sam is in the shot, so it makes a bit of sense, and it goes back to it again.
I think again with we just need a little bit more light on the face, but that's
just a bit dark, isn't it?
Yeah,
pause it on the shot of Alex. So where's this costume from, Lucy?
So
why have you got a bullet hole in your breast?
It's from a costume of Eponine from Les Mis, who gets shot during the French Revolution on top of a barricade.
Yeah, so Alex originally wasn't originally she wasn't going to be shot.
No.
But I wrote a bit into it. Episode 3,
Hey,
I cut my hand so badly on that bit.
Yeah.
Sliced it open on a rock.
These jeans.
And these jeans got ripped.
Yeah.
And my knee bled during the scene. And I fall on my knees when I shoot myself. Spoilers. So.
Killed. I just had to run.
You need to tell us if you're infected.
What were you running from? There was so much blood.
Are they gangs or are they infected?
I like the light when it's coming through there as well.
The tunnel.
It looks cool.
They were the
Yeah.
first to go.
Look, rubber.
The infection.
The sun was going in and out all day as well.
Listen,
You just gotta shoot.
Just get it done. This is my good friend Tom, who was technically, so when I first started writing this in 2012, it was when there was 4 of us at uni, and we had to do the horror task or something in second year, and we decided to make the whole zombie scene, and Tom played the zombie in it, so it was like, well, who's going to play the key looking, oh no, wait, they're not zombies, they're infected, and it was like,
not
right,
zombies, by the way. But they are, but they're not.
they are, yeah. So I was like, oh, well, Tom will do it, and he said he wanted to be credited as Sergeant Spook, so I've put that in.
Oh.
He is Sergeant Spook.
I mean, when he starts running towards you, it's scary.
It was terrifying. Like there's loads of bloopers where we want to run backwards because it's that intimidating when he's running towards you. Ben got terrified on the shoot.
Yeah,
I think
Tom was really good
one
for
thing is,
being a non-trained actor as well.
I know he's a zombie and he goes slow and then he goes faster, but I just think there should be about 2 or 3 seconds cut out just to make this a little bit tighter. Just when he's running towards you, because he seems like far away.
I hope she was telling
Yeah.
the truth.
Just piercing wise.
Crazy Sam.
Oh,
So he looks really close there, and then
bang.
How to make your gunshots sound better?
there. Link.
Did you realise what you've done?
I can't do this anymore. Someone help.
And broken knees.
Don't we all?
It was just because of the path.
So see if I can get a point.
Okay. We did invite many people to be extra zombies. There's supposed to be like 40, well, as many people as can get on that thing. No one turned up.
To be fair, it's in the middle of a forest. It's quite far away from any sort of like
Yeah,
city centre. We had to drive to it.
And then
Yeah.
walk 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's pretty far.
So our zombie extras are right at the front without the top. That's Ben, who plays Jason. On the left,
Who's
the
in the
young
next
one
shot, I
is
think.
Tilly, who is one of the young gang members. The guy with the hood on is Jake, who plays Sam,
The other main character.
the other main character.
And then-
And the guy there on the
McDonald's
right
haircut.
with the receding hairline is me. Yeah.
I think I was.
Oh, originally I had a wig on. I had like a
Oh, you
black.
It was
yeah,
a what's it called?
What do you call it?
Oh,
Just this
Mullet.
mullet. Yeah.
But it looked really
It,
ridiculous.
looked, it
Even
was
in this shot.
awful.
But it's shaking about and you can't see.
It took me
Actually,
on for a couple of
in all honesty, Ben, who plays Jason there, plays a really good, crazy-looking zombie.
True.
He was like, "Shall I take my top off?" I was like,
He
Yeah.
loves getting that makeup done as well. It looked pretty
Yeah.
sick.
"There's me." That scream.
Yeah.
Ah!
He died.
So
Run.
Oh, there's a good thing. So go back to that shot there. We might this might be posted on Facebook actually. So that shot,
Yeah.
we actually did a test shoot almost over a year before. It's in the bloopers, I do believe.
Yeah.
Bloopers. But the contrast between it, so the whole thing about getting the film look, it's not just camera settings and fancy shots. It's everything. So we do have a nice bit of colour grading and some contrast and a costume, makeup, everything, all the dirt, the cuts. It's just everything together. It's like a stir fry, and you can see the difference between just going out and just being like, oh, okay, let's just shoot something in what you're wearing with this camera, and putting a bit of time and hard work into it, and it makes it look a lot more like a film.
does
Yeah.
definitely.
I really liked seeing the difference between those two things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
No.
Run.
Run.
Thanks for watching season 2, which is all about our short film Corpse. Next season is all about our short film titled The Pizza Project, and that's coming out next week.
I think so. Yeah. We also have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So get liking, get following.
All at TheFilmLook.
And yeah, we'll see you then.
Season 2 is a wrap.
Yeah.